Hello everyone. Hello everyone. I'm Lerato Mhlanga, your regulatory examination tutor for today. Welcome to Mzansi Family Life. Basically, Mzansi Family Life is about to be a financial institution which will mainly deal with the issues of financial planning and then as well as the financial well-being, of our clients, or rather, in a nutshell, um, the financial health of our clients. But amongst many other services that we are offering at Mzansi Family Life, we are also assisting our industry role players in complying with the competency or rather the fit and proper requirements as required by the Financial Advisory and Intermediary Services Act, number 37 of 2002, which mainly governs the financial services sector. It governs and regulates how the financial advisors, the financial intermediaries, and the financial services providers conduct themselves in the market. So today we're going to be starting with our first lesson of the regulatory examination. For now, I will be generic because I cover both the regulatory examination for representative and as well as regulatory examination for the key individual, and of which I will explain later what is a representative and as well as what is a key individual. Well, now let's go to the tutorial material. Here we are, tutorial material. Basically, what RE is all about, like I've said earlier on a few seconds ago, that I'm actually now helping people with two types of the exams. One is the RE1, which is for key individual, and another one is for RE5, which is for the representatives, and the pass mark is 66.7%. And the exam, the key individual exam, it's a multiple choice questionnaire made up of 80, multiple choice questions. And for representative, it is also a multiple choice exam made up of 50. So as you can see that the pass mark is 54 out of 80 questions for key individuals, and for representatives the pass mark is 66.7. So the 34 out of 50, set of questions. Basically, what RE is all about this legislation. Please bear in mind that some of this legislation, more especially the Fires Act, number 37 of 2002, has been amended, and as well as the FICA Act number 38 of 2001 has been, amended, and we'll discuss more later. Basically, these are the laws that governs the market conduct or the market behavior, how we behave in the market. And by saying we, I'm referring to the role players who are, playing in the financial services space, who are actually, dealing with clients in as far as financial services are concerned. So basically, that is what RE is all about. RE, by the way, stands for regulatory examination. Let's go to the next slide. Going to this next slide. About the tutor, basically that's me there. Like I've introduced myself earlier on, I am Lerato Mhlanga. I carry a Bachelor of Commerce in Financial Planning, which carries 375 credits. And also I've got a National Certificate in Banking Services and Advice. It also carries 125 credits. And I have, first level regulatory examination certificate for key individual, that is RE1. And I hold RE5 for representative certificate. and there is RE5, and I hold a diploma in business management and entrepreneurship. And at the time of compiling this tutorial material, I had 7 years, management, experience in the industry. Now I'm 10 years in the industry. So over and above, I'm more than at least 15 years in the financial services industry, tutoring, training, and then as well as doing learning and development issues. And then over and above, I've been also, performing the oversight of the financial advisors, and then as well as the supervisors of the financial advisors as well. And I've been overseeing the rendering of financial services as well. So this should put you at ease that I am the right, a driver, for this course. You are talking to the right person. Let's go to the next slide. Basically, the next slide is some of the students amongst the thousands, because I've been tutoring RE5 since from 2012. It is now 10 years, doing it. When FPI was still offering the, exam, and obviously many others. Previously, there were about 4 examination bodies, but now we only have one, which is Moonstone. FPI was one of them. So these are some of my clients whom I've successfully tutored, as you can see there. One, you can see Pumza Vingle from East London. They are both from East London, Eastern Cape, but the other one is in Eastern Cape, King Williamstown. You can see the average pass mark is about 80%. Let's move on to our lesson. Basically, before you could understand what RE is all about, let's first understand the purpose of the FIRES Act number 37 of 2002. The FIRES Act, remember, it stands for Financial Advisory and Intermediary Services Act. It is Act number 37, which came into life or into effect in 2002. As you can see there, it is mainly to regulate the rendering of financial intermediary services to clients, and also it regulates the rendering of the advice. We will be differentiating the advice and as well as the intermediary services. Both are the service that are being rendered to the client, within an FSP, and also it protects the clients. As you can see there, it protects the clients, from being misrepresented by the rep, as you can see there, and from being financially prejudiced, or from being put in a situation whereby it's financially unfavorable, for them as a result of the conduct of the role players. In particular, I'm referring to either the financial intermediary or the financial advisors, rendering the financial service to the clients. Remember, there are 2 types of service that is being rendered out there in the financial services sector or the financial services market by the representatives. And, these services, one is intermediary service, another one is financial advice. Remember, financial intermediary service, another one is financial advice. I'm going to be unpacking these 2 services, as we go on in the next slides. And one other purpose of the FIRES Act, remember, one is to protect the clients, right, or the consumers of financial products or financial advice or financial intermediary service that they get from the representative. And then as well as is to regulate the market conduct, the market behavior, it regulates it in such a way that it needs to instill confidence in the industry. As a lot of people has lost, confidence in the financial services industry or sector simply because of what happened, in the past. And the other one is to make sure that the industry is professional. The role players are always professional, are acting in a manner that is a professionalize their industry. And let's go on before we take the break. Like I've mentioned earlier on, that we've got two types of financial service that is being rendered to the client. One is financial advice, two is financial intermediary, or sometimes a representative can either render financial advice only or render financial intermediary service only, or even both. It depends on what the FSP is licensed for. This little piece of paper that you see there at the back of the representative at the wall there, it is called the FIS license or the FSP license. So as you can see there, the financial advisor provides financial advisory services to clients on behalf of the authorized and licensed FSP, not just any other business. And as well as, on the other hand, the intermediary provides intermediary services to clients on behalf of the authorized and licensed FSP. Remember, before a business could render financial advice or intermediary services, they'll have to first apply for the FIS license or the FSP license with the then Financial Services Board, or now called the Financial Conduct. Actually, no, sorry, it is Financial Services Conduct Authority, FSCA. Financial Services Conduct Authority. No longer FSB, it is Financial Services Conduct Authority. So before a business can be called an FSP or a financial services provider, they must first acquire or apply for an FSP license with the Financial Services Conduct Authority. They'll have to follow the process. So just like I've mentioned, that a representative can render both, advice, and intermediary services. And as well as there are two types of representative. A representative can be, can operate under a mandate, meaning that such a representative is not an employee but an independent consultant or independent representative, having the mandate to represent such an FSP. And a representative can be, can operate, by virtue of an employment contract. And also, a representative can also be a legal person or a juristic, person, or a company or a business. A registered business can also be a representative. And before we go to break, like I've promised, let us differentiate between what is a advisory service and intermediary, a service. What is the difference between the two? I've boldly highlighted, the definition so that you could understand and see the difference. On the left hand side, the definition of the advice in terms of the Financial Advisory and Intermediary Services Act is any recommendation, guidance, or proposal of a financial nature, right? It must be recommendation. Remember the words, the key word, recommendation, guidance, proposal of a financial nature. It must be of a financial nature, right? Given by any means or medium to any client or group of clients. Let me explain any means. Financial advice can either be given directly face to face, or it can be given over, electronic means, either via, computer, using, things like your Skype, your Zoom, your Microsoft Teams, or over the telephone. Advice can be rendered, that. What advice? Financial advice. That is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about financial advice. Remember, I repeat, it should be any recommendation, guidance, proposal of a financial nature given by any means or medium. Any means or medium, like I've said, it can either be given directly face to face when an advisor is meeting face to face with the client, or it can either be indirectly, either over the phone, over the Skype, over the Zoom, over Microsoft Teams, any other electronic means convenient for both the advisor and as well as the client, right? And the advice can either be given to a single client or a group of clients. A group of clients, in most of the cases, it can refer to, there are those advisors who are dealing in employee benefits or group benefits, and they are targeting businesses. And obviously, if you are targeting, if your target market as an advisor is a business, then that business is referred to as a group. But if you are targeting just anybody, individuals, then that person can be referred as just a single client. I hope that you understand. And on the other hand, financial intermediary, it can be any act, right? Look at it. It is bolded and underlined. Any act except giving of advice performed by a person for or on behalf of a client or product supplier. So look at the difference. Here it is any act except the giving of advice, meaning that any act except recommending, except guidance, except proposal, right? These words, recommendation, guidance, and proposal, are excluded, in as far as the financial intermediary service is concerned, right? So it's any act except giving of advice, right? Excluding the RGP or PGR. Normally, when I tutor my students, just to help with their memory, advice, it equals to PGR. Advice, it is equals to PGR. But intermediary, it excludes PGR. PGR stands for proposal, guiding, and recommending any financial solution or financial nature. So when we come to intermediary services, it can be any act except this, right? Performed by a person. And that person can either be a financial intermediary or an advisor, right? Or giving both, right? But performed by a person on behalf of a client, right? Remember, a representative represents both the FSP and as well as the client, right? Or the product supplier, right? I'll explain what a product supplier is. There's a product provider and there's a product supplier. So when you see these words, don't be confused. I'll explain them at the later stage. For now, let us take a break.